Hello, team. My name is Rojal. If you discover me here, um, you can call me as well Loa. Um, I want to talk today about personal development. Um, some people, I think we all need personal development. That's my opinion. You know, and which is the strange thing is that when you talk about personal development to some people, they look at you like uh, you are coming from the space, or maybe you are talking about something. I won't say that it's not complicated. Something too much complicated, and and understand a bit why, because it required discipline. It required to respect many things. It is required to change some habits. That's really most important. Changing the habits. It requires um, getting away from those people you are living with sometimes, or maybe um, some people might leave you because you are changing your habits. You know, it requires many things. It requires many changes. So some people don't want to change, and some people are lazy as well to apply those principles of personal development. You know, um, that's why it's a bit complicated to attract more people in this subject of personal development. I will take an example. Here I'm doing videos about personal development. I'm sure if I was doing a video about, I don't know, something more attractive, like, I don't know, uh, let's take a subject, sport, maybe um, dancing, or I like sport, I like dancing as well, but personal development subject are, people find it too much intellectual, too much philosophical, too much philosophy to absorb, too intellectual to deal with, and that's why they don't want to go into that. That's why it's so complicated for many people, mostly, to change their habit. And a lot of people need personal development. A lot of people, myself, we all need personal development. You know, we all need someone like a coach or a mentor, or if not, we can also, if our parent is into that, are into that, we can also have our parent helping us to grow, to have a grow mindset, for example. But for most of the people, this is very complicated. So I just want to talk about this, just to figure out what can be done to help people people who know that personal development will help them in their life, and they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start. You know, um, I would take my own experience. This is based on my own experience. Um, I didn't have parents doing personal development. I didn't do it for all my years. I started recently working on that. I started recently talking about this, and that's something I've discovered a bit late. I would say late because it was kind of 6 years, 7 years ago now, 8 years ago, something like that. And I just thought, you know, at the beginning, I was not too much into that. I was just like flirting, listening to some things online, a couple of things online. But 5 years ago, that's where I really start, to read more. So I'm talking about my own experience now. For people who are willing to go into personal development, but they find it too much complicated, too much discipline to adjust, too much thing to change, too many habits to change. You know, So for myself, I start watching videos on personal development. I start reading. At that time, I was not reading books. I was not able to read books. It was too complicated for me to read books. Not too complicated, but I was lazy to read books. You know, and you see, that's where we have laziness. Laziness also doesn't help. I was lazy to read books. I preferred to watch maybe a movie talking about the book than reading that book, you know. But when you read, it's like you are incrusting things in your mind. You are, you know, you, it's different, you know, because you create your own imagination when you are reading. When you are watching a movie, you are watching the imagination of someone else on the same story. You know, on the same story, go watch a movie on the same story and read the book before watching the movie, for example. When you read the book, you create your own imagination about the books, about the image, about the area, about the color, everything the author is talking in the book. But when you watch a movie, the movie is helping you with all the imagination already created by the movie this director movie director, you know, for example. So that reduce your imagination, you know. But by reading the book, that's totally different. So I will encourage you, if you cannot read books, start with by listening books. That's where I started. I start to listening books. I installed an app on my phone, and I was listening to audiobooks every day. Every day. I start by, um, I was not listening to books talking about other subject. I was just focused on the subject on personal development, you know, and that was a kind of big change for me. The first one is that I discovered a subject that I like, personal development, because I wanted to see how far I want to go in this life. We are here. I was just like, at some point in my life, I was, what I, what will I do? I will just walk, retire, die, and that's it. That's all my life. I should try to do something spectacular, something extraordinary, you know. And I start looking for ways to accomplish those things. And those things, either you have a mentor or you have someone that can take your hand and guide you, or you can start by your own doing things. For example, reading books, listening to audiobooks to help you figure out yourself how you can do a couple of things, you know. That means you start putting the seed by your own in your mind, in your brain, you know. And so I started reading books on the subject of personal development. Um, and the more I was reading, though I was listening, I was not reading, I was listening to those books. The more I was kind of captivated by what I was learning from those audiobooks. I was, wow. I was just saying to myself, I could have died without knowing all these things. That would be a shame, right? Like dying, live all my life, and die later, or discover that those things, like personal development, I can do many things just by reading or listening to books, and not discover them when I'm still young and discover them very late when I'm about to die. That would be a shame for me. That would be a big regret later if I didn't discover them. So that's why I'm encouraging you to not wait too long. It's never too late. Even if you can be 70 and then you start now, never late than never, never better late than never. You know, even if it's you feel like it's late. It's never late. Start as soon as you hear about this. It's better to hear about something and to start applying it than to hear it and not doing anything. That will be really a regret. Like you hear about, you know what you need to do, but you didn't take the time, you didn't take the discipline to do what you need to do because you just put your energy in other things. You know what I mean? So when you hear about this kind of video, for example, or personal development, go look for what is it. Check online, check the books. If you're not a good reader, if you cannot read very well, if you don't like reading like me at the beginning, start listening to audiobooks. Listening to audiobooks. Go on YouTube for check for motivation videos, for example. You have some coaches like Jim Rohn or others who have left some books, some audiobooks, some videos, some you can find them everywhere. They are most of them are free. Start with the free things. You cannot there's nothing easier than free. Come on, right? So go to the library. If you don't have money to buy books, go to the library and get the books. How much is the library card? It's free, right? So go to the library, get the books. You won't you cannot complain that you cannot get the books because you don't have money. Go to the library, get the books. If you live in a modern country, you are lucky to have libraries, to have the books that you can take and then you can use, you can read and bring them back. You have, if you some people don't even have those library in their country. You know what I mean? So if you live in a modern country, you have libraries. So use the opportunity you have in your country instead of complaining, right? So start with if you want to go into personal development, start by audiobooks. From my own experience, I start with the audiobooks, for example. Or if you like reading books, physical books, start reading physical books. That's fine. That's great. That's the best way, you know. But if you don't like, or if you are lazy to read physical books, start with audiobooks. Read enough audiobooks. I read enough audiobooks that those audiobooks that I read, I start buying them to read them physically as well. That's crazy, right? That was great. You know, I was, you know, the engine start in my head. At the beginning, I couldn't read the physical book, and then by listening to those audiobooks, that start changing my mindset. That start changing my habit. That start changing many things on myself, and that even pushed me to buy the physical books that I couldn't read before, and I start focusing on reading those physical books as well. You know what I mean? And buying those physical books, the same books that I read in audio. And by buying these physical books, I read the same books twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now I will tell you exactly which books I start reading. That brought me to the personal development, kind of subject. Like I want to really to learn about this. I start with some books like the Rich Dad Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki. That's one of the books that you can read easily, because that books will help you understand how the world is working on the financial part, and also how some people are working the job and some people are becoming entrepreneur to become investor later. So it shows you exactly how the world is working, and when you start reading this book, And then you can go to other books like uh, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. That's also a really legendary book that most of the people from who are interested in personal development have read. You know, you can read the books The Art of The Art of Exceptional Living from Jim Rohn. You can read the books The Success Principle from Jack Canfield. You can read the book The Millionaire Mindset. I don't remember the author. There are many books that you can read. I will put the list there. You can read the books. The 4 weeks. The 4 weeks something. Yep, I don't remember exactly the author. There's many books. You can also read books from Robin Sharma, for example. You can read the books from the Miracle Morning, so that will help you to change your habit and start waking up early in the morning to do things. You have like a routine in the morning before doing anything else. You know, so by reading those books, by listening to them, for example, you can start listening to them if you don't want to read. Listen to them every day. Put the habit to listen to those books every day. Take one book every week and go through that book to finish the book by the end of the week and listen it everywhere you are. So and now you have to figure out time where you want. The physical books, you find an excuse like you cannot read the physical books everywhere, right? Maybe if you are driving your car, you cannot read the physical books. If you are in a train, maybe you might read it, but you might fall asleep. If you are in a bus, a transportation, it's not easy sometimes because a lot of people, you cannot read your physical book because some people are bumping into you. If you are, I don't know, if you are walking in the street, you cannot read the physical book. You will be bumped by a car. If you are at office, you cannot read the physical book. If you are on your break, you cannot read the physical book, for example. So by finding an alternative to listen to books, to audiobooks, you can listen to audiobooks everywhere, almost everywhere, except at work when you are working on your things, when you are walking. But in the transportation, you can listen to audiobooks. In the plane, you can listen to audiobooks. You can be walking on the street, and on one ear listening to audiobooks, on the other ear you are listening to circulation if the car's coming or whatever. You can walk in the street, and the nice thing with audiobooks, when the book is well interpreted or the author you have like a voice that really that really captivates you, you will go through the book without even wanted to stop to listen to that book. You will want to go till the end of the book, and you read it, you listen to it again. So that's where the magic is starting. The magic will start with that. When you read, you listen to those audiobooks. I've listened to many of those audiobooks. I listen to them again. I listen to them in English. I listen to most of them in English, and I listen to many of them in French as well. And then you start to understand many concepts, many principles, and then you start applying those principles in your life, in your personal life, and then you start changing some habits, and then that's where your personal development is starting. So I just gave you a small example how you can get into personal development, because that will change your life. I can assure that will change your life. So if you really like this video or you want to comment, just comment here. Tell me what you think about this. Let me know if you like it, if you want me to do more videos like this to give you example based on my personal experience on how I set things, how I change, how I get into a couple of things, and and how I changed, for example, my habits, you know, and share this video to some people that might help them to get into that might help them to start listening to audiobooks if they don't want to read, if they are lazy to read physical books, that might help them to change their habit, you know. So share the video, like, comment, and also click here to join, you know, subscribe, so that way every time I post new videos you will get a notification. So in the meantime, I say to you, thank you, and post here any subject that you want me to discuss here, and tell me exactly what you think about this video. I hope to see you soon. I will put here somewhere one of the video talking about personal development as well. So go look for that video as well, and I will see you soon.